Hey, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Wednesday morning. It's November 1st and it is 3:32 in the AM. I'm reading Daily Reflections. I'm moving slow today because I am truly savoring what I'm reading. Everything requires a pause for reflection, and I love it, but at the same time, I want to keep a pace before my workday begins. And this particular reading, Daily Reflections, makes me think of my workday. And I'll share why in a couple minutes. The reading: I cannot change the wind. I cannot change the wind. Think about that. You know, many of us put our ships, and you've heard me talk about ships before: friendships, relationships, situationships. We put them out there, set them to sea, and sometimes the sea shifts and takes us off course, or sometimes it's smooth sailing. I don't know where I'm going with this boat analogy. No, actually I do. But I don't sail. So, we set our sails to adjust to situations, and, there's a lot of, I'll say, unpredictability in trying to manage things. Again, you cannot change the wind. You can't change people. God is going to be who God is. God is going to show you things and tell you to do things that, you just don't see yourself doing. But the question is, are you going to obey God? Amen. And with my ship analogy, I want to say, no matter how we set our sails, no matter how much we adjust our sails, the question is, which way is the wind going to blow? And are we going to obey God? Because God is in the wind. God is the wind. I want us to think about that. We have motorized boats and things of this nature. But the true test of man is to get out there with God and commune with nature, knowing that you're totally committed to dealing with nature on nature's terms. See, I knew where I was going with that ship analogy. I want you to come along with me. I cannot change the wind. The writer says it's easy to let up on spiritual program of action and rest on your laurels. What laurels? Can I boast of anything that God has done? You see, there's a difference between what we do. Oh, look what the Lord has blessed me with. That's boasting. And in our boasting, our bragging about how we've been blessed, we don't tell the story of how we finagled and manipulated to hold this thing up to the world and call it a blessing. It may have benefited you in some way, shape, or form, but you can't put a God stamp on something. Only He can do it. Let me get back. It's easy to let up on spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. We are headed for trouble if we do. For whatever we're struggling with, it says alcohol, but for whatever we're struggling with is a subtle foe. And I'm going to say the enemy. And in the recovery rooms, they like to talk about addiction is cunning and baffling. So is the enemy. And the enemy enters in subtle ways. The enemy makes things feel good. So a lot of times, whatever we're engaged in appeals to our feelings. And the only way that you know you're under serious attack is when it no longer feels good. Then we start thinking about, I need to change. Not what actions I took to get into a place where it doesn't feel good. We just thinking, hey, I just need to change something. And so we'll pick up our toys, our toxic toys, and move to the next area, the next playground. Sin is exponential. So it's that movement, that connection to something else, that pull to something else, rather than addressing you. And I want to say, in addressing ourselves, ego tells us we're healed. Well, I spent enough time reflecting on that, or I read about 3 or 4 books on this. But has your nature really changed? Is your all on the altar of sacrifice, as the song goes? Let me get back to this reading. It says, my first sponsor told me there were 2 things to say about prayer and meditation. First, I had to start, and second, I had to continue. It says, when I came to AA, or when I came to the need or the acknowledgement that I needed to heal, my spiritual life was bankrupt. If I consider God at all, He was to be called upon only when my self-will was incapable of a task, or when overwhelming fears had eroded my ego. That part. Only when I need something. And only when I knew that I couldn't finagle it, then I'm going to go to prayer. Instead of going to prayer, asking God, is this what I need? And if it is, can you give me the strength to do it? See how that sounds different? And you can think about the different outcomes because it sounds different. And most of us don't know we're spiritually bankrupt. It's like, as long as I got a penny in the bank, I'm okay because I still have an account. Never mind that the account is not going to cover anything, but it's still open. It has the potential. It can transition. See how all this is running together this morning? I want to just kind of pose it like a commercial jingle or a commercial tagline. It's not a jingle, jingle's a song. What's in your wallet? And by that I mean, are you spiritually bankrupt?